Like, it's nice and all that they made it so that you can cancel it from flip kick and it juggles, but without meter, you can't land anything. And like, the whole point of the move, the whole point of the V trigger is to drain bar from my opponent. But because they're being launched into the air, I'm not draining any meter from them, so it like completely goes against the whole point of the V trigger. So like, at the very least, some kind of meterless follow-up, even if it's just light flip kick. Like, come on. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, and by the way, since you got here pretty late, I'm currently making a list of potential Juri buffs for Season 5. Yeah, let me go through the whole thing. So, alright, stand medium punch. Oh yeah, I don't have the list like digital. I'm literally like writing it down on pen and paper. But so yeah, stand medium punch, reduce push on block. Crouching hard punch, increase horizontal range because the range is god awful, and there's like almost no reason to use it. Not only that, but it's only +3 on hit. Like, for a move that's ridiculously short range and very limited use, you get like almost no reward for it outside of crush counter. So like, more horizontal range and more frame advantage, at least like +5, so I can get like stand medium punch, stand medium kick, whatever. Because like, Juri's one of the only characters who can't like throw out heavies and get decent reward for it. Stand heavy kick, increase hit advantage, make it +3 up close, because if you land this up close, it's only +1. You get absolutely nothing for it. Back heavy kick, improving the first hitbox, because the first hitbox is dumb, despite how slow the move is, and then make it function better as an anti-air, since, you know, she's kicking straight up. You'd think this would be more consistent anti-air, but it just isn't. Like, note how when she puts her leg up, he kind of goes right through me, and I only hit them on the way down. By the time my leg will start coming down, like, I would have already got punched in the face already. Yeah, crouch heavy punch is super slow too, and there's like no reward off it. Like, the only two functions it serves is a crush counter punish and kind of an anti-air sometimes. And I think that, like, that's one of Juri's real problems. A lot of her moves either serve no function, it serves specifically one function, or, like, even if it's relatively useful, you don't get much from it. And that's dumb. Overhead. Like, why is this 0 on hit? Overhead should not be 0 on hit. Because if I land this successfully, I can only at most hope for a trade. Unless I'm stupid and do like heavy DP immediately after. But like, even I'm not that stupid. This should at least be +1. Target combo. Attach either stand light kick or stand light punch to the beginning of the target combo, because there's a lot of characters in this game. There's a lot of characters in this game that have a target combo that starts from a light, and I remember they specifically said, like, in the inception of Street Fighter V, that they didn't want characters to get like a really big reward off of light attacks, and then they gave a whole bunch of characters a bunch of target combos that start with light, like Ibuki or Balrog or Colleen or some other character I can't remember at the moment, Zeku. And it's like, that's stupid. That's real. Not only is that stupid that they gave him that, but it's also really stupid that Juri has to do a standing medium punch, one of her worst simultaneously best normals that she has, and that's all she get. So like let her get a target combo that starts from one of her lights. Confirming it will be pretty hard, as it is the only target combo I see in jumping. Yeah, like if you land a jump in and you see that it landed, you could just go straight for target combo. But it's like confirming it off of the single one hit. Like if they block it, you don't get anything, and like it's all because of the whole combination of the standing medium having so much pushback. From here, the only moves that will land at this point is stand medium kick or stand light kick, and that's it. My turn is over. They're already over there. I can't reach them anymore, and the only way for me to continue my pressure is to do something stupid, like stand heavy kick. So it's like, no, that's dumb. Give me a light startup for the target combo. Let's see what I got. What do I got? Full House Store, more horizontal range. Mostly because I'm like super familiar with like Street Fighter 4 Juri. She was able to like follow up like a lot of her moves with her stores, and they would reach pretty far. But you know, now they just don't for no reason. Make it more combo ability. I think Juri's a decent place right now. Not bad, not strong. I just want a little push in areas like maybe Oki and normals. Something where we don't have to consistently end our turn. Exactly. That's her main problem. Like, she can't stay in pressure. So, I feel like... Alright, so Street Fighter 4 Juri, her entire gimmick was that she was supposed to be like a jack-of-all-trades character, right? But I feel like they went in a complete inverse direction of that whole idea, and instead of making her relatively good at everything, she's like horrendously mediocre, but she has, in massive quotations, all of the tools. So theoretically, she could do anything, but she's also like really crap at doing everything. So it's like, come on, like she can't be a rushdown character because she pushes herself too far back when she tries to do her pressure. She can't zone all that well because her fireballs go nowhere, and the only option that she has full screen is charged V skill. And it's like, that's nice and all against Dhalsim or something like that, or super zony characters, but that's it. And this is like super fucking risky. Like, this is minus as fuck if they block this. Minus 18. Like, holy shit. Like her risk reward is horrendously skewed. And that's for a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters who have like the opposite effect, where it's like they get massive reward for super low risk. And Juri falls in like the middle of that. And the middle is actually like not a very good place to be. So that's why like a lot of these changes that I've listed are to fix that. Right. So yeah. So Fireball, more hit stun on hit, so I can use it in combos. Like, Fireball is pretty important already. Like, technically it's her most important store because it controls space. It allows her to get in. But let's say I'm already in and I have my Fireball stocked up. I kind of can't use it. Like, it doesn't combo from a lot of things. And when it does, it combos from, like, very specific and odd ranges. Like, there are places where you can just, like, combo from it. But there's no way to manually set up the distance between, like, you and your opponent to make that, like, consistent. So, like, a consistent way to combo from Fireball up close would be nice. Yeah, like one frame of hit stun, just one extra frame of hit stun would make this so much better. Like, I just want to do that consistently. Like, even that, just that right there, that's enough. It doesn't have to do any more than that, but I just want it to be consistent. Because if I was further away, that doesn't work. So it's like, and being further away so that stuff stopped working is an extra problem, especially since this has so much knockback on it. So it's like, it's a consistent problem she's gonna have all the time. So like, just a little bit more frame advantage to make that work. That's it. Medium. Make this a goddamn overhead. We've been over this for like every single season, but there's no reason for this to not be a true overhead. None. Like, most people will argue that like, oh, it'll be too powerful because she could just throw it out and then like, you could just overhead people all day, every day. Here's the thing. I have to store this first of all. First I have to store it, then it's super slow. What is the frame data on this thing? Medium. Furahin. Oh, that's the store. I'm stupid. This fucker is 23 frames. This is a 23 frame move that I have to store, then use it, and then it's gone. Make this a goddamn overhead. Holy shit. There's no reason. Like, not even just reactable. But I have to store it first. My opponent can see that I have it stored, so they know it's coming. And it's 23 fucking frames. Making it overhead. Like, I don't even know why they'd bother animating it like this and then not making it overhead. It's fucking ridiculous. I think I asked for this one, Juri, in Juri Discord. They said it was kind of OP. Yeah, everyone says that, and at some point I agreed, but then I realized that, like, they have this obsession of making Juri store shit. Like, when they showed off her V-Skill 2, I was cautiously optimistic about it. I wanted to like the V-Skill 2. And I'm like, okay, it looks pretty cool. It has a fireball. It allows her to do what she essentially should already be able to do with her fireball. But, like, you know, it exists. That's nice. As long as there's no, like, stupid drawback to it. Nope. Apparently you gotta charge it. It's like, why? You ruined it. We had a good thing going, and you ruined it. Fuck. So, yeah. V-Skill 2 is now just another resource that she has to charge. And it's like, fuck, man. Like, I said this before, but I feel like Capcom kind of completely missed the whole point of people, why people like Juri. People like Juri because, like, well, not only is the character design really great, but gameplay-wise, she was able to do anything. She could zone, she could rush down, she could press her from a distance, she could press her up close, she could do fucking everything. But, like, oh, what do people like about Juri? The fact that she can store her moves. It's like, no, nobody liked that part about Juri. I don't want to have to worry about resource management while I'm trying to street fight. No other character has to worry about that shit. Oh god, that reminds me. I gotta write that down too. So, you know what's stupid? I hate the fact that Juri loses all of her stores between rounds. That's dumb. Like, I remember a long time ago I wanted it so that Juri would start off all of her stores, but I think that would also be stupid. So at the very least, like, make it so that she keeps whatever store she has at the end of the last round into the next round. Like, I don't understand why she has to lose all of her stores between rounds, where Ibuki, her kunais, the thing that makes her, like, actually really fucking annoying to deal with, she restores all of her kunais between rounds. If she's out of kunais in one round, she just gets them all back at the end of the round. And it's like, what? Why do I have to lose all my stores then? What the fuck? Ugh! I gotta write that down. Pretty sure she wasn't even really in OP in 4. Didn't play that one as much. She wasn't OP in 4. She was really good in 4, though. Like, I think at the end of Ultra, she was like, I want to say, like, top 15 out of, like, what, 50 characters? Which is pretty good. I wanted to say top 10, but I don't even know. I forget. It was a long time ago. But she was pretty good. And she was just very, very underplayed. So there's top 5 and 4? No. She was like top 5 in Cross Tekken. She was godlike in Cross Tekken. Ugh. Actually, no. I can't say top 5 in Cross Tekken because Cross Tekken has like way too many good characters. She's like top 10 Cross Tekken easy. Yeah, because one, you earn that store if you get stunned for a kill, a stun kill, for example. You have to use the store to kill anyway. Yeah, exactly. Like, her stores are fucking vital to her gameplay. And just getting them throughout a match is risky as fuck. So it's like, why do I have to lose them because I won the match? Like, if I win the round, I lose my stores. Like, that's dumb. Like, I don't think... actually, I really don't think that, like, whether or not she loses her stores should be tied to whether or not she won the round. But I think just universally losing all of her stores between rounds just by itself is dumb. Where did I stop? Heavy Fuha. Heavy Fuha, basically, literally all I want out of this is to heighten the launch rate. Because the only thing that she can get is medium DP. Which, sometimes, for whatever reason, just whiffs. Not all the time. It's relatively consistent. But the bigger reasons of why I want this to launch higher is so that I can get light pinwheel instead of just medium pinwheel. Because that way you can, like, end with super. Just more options. Yeah. It's not that, like... Yeah, whiffing isn't all that common. Like, it's not a big problem. But, like, the timing is really tight. And, like, there's not really much reason for the timing to be all that tight. So just having, like, the option to go into light pinwheel instead, so you can just, like, cancel into super, get more damage. It's just more options. Not a necessary thing, but it's just one of those, it would be cool if that was a thing. Right. All versions of her flip kick. And here's another one of those things where it's like, this move serves no function. Light pinwheel is worthless. Absolutely worthless. There's no reason to have like the move shouldn't even exist. Everything that combos into light pinwheel also combos into medium pinwheel. All moves that don't combo into light pinwheel or don't combo into medium pinwheel also don't combo into light pinwheel. So it's, or not pinwheel, flip kick. So like crouching medium kick into medium flip kick does not work. But neither does like light flip kick. There's no reason for the move to exist. So I really struggled to come up with like a change for this to make it useful. But oh yeah, I'm definitely going to make a document of this. Like I have it written down on paper. But one thing that they should definitely fix is that for some stupid reason, still to this day, she can get thrown out of her flip kicks. Like, there are a few frames right before the move hits where she lands on the ground and there's no hitbox, and my opponent can literally just either hit me or throw me out of the move. And that's dumb. I can't think of another character with another move with the same problem. Like, I don't know why they made it that way, but they should fix that. They need to, like, synchronize the timing of, like, when she lands and the active hitbox. Like, shouldn't be able to get thrown out of this. Like, this it's just dumb. It's just another one of those things that puts her, like, at risk for no reason. Not only that, like, she can get thrown out of it, but it's already -6 on block. Like it's already punishable. Why the fuck am I getting thrown out of it? Jesus Christ. It is at worst, or at best, -2 with EX. So it's like, what the hell? And even if I do land it, there's hardly any reward. Like, if they back roll, and I dash forward, they're already over there. Like, I can only literally hit them with stand medium kick. I can't medium for shit. Like, I don't even get Oki off this thing. What the fuck? Like, there's way too much risk for this shit. If they implemented the only half of the stuff you said so far, it would feel so much more fun. Exactly! She'd not only be fun, but she'd also be viable. Also, just for fun, on all of her flip kicks, for whatever reason, they've been doing this thing where they've been giving characters moves that have OTGs. That's why Hakumei is here. Put an OTG hitbox on her flip kicks. There's no reason to not do it. Like, if a character... Because E Honda has the same thing, and I think Falk also has the same thing. If a character does not recover... You just OTG them. Hakumei can already do it. Why can't anyone else do it? E Honda can do it. Like, wouldn't that be a neat tool to have, like, just to have it? Like, I don't even think this should just be a Juri thing. I think a bunch of characters could use an OTG. Like, let's say, like make it a part of the wake-up game. Like, oh, your opponent is gonna, like, delay wake-up to avoid, like, getting meatied? Well, take an extra 60 damage, or an extra 70 damage. Like, you can read someone's delay wake-up and just fucking fuck you, take extra damage. Like, E Honda already has it. And Falk already has it. Imagine if Alex had the same thing. Imagine if Alex's stomps can OTG you if you don't quick get up. That would make Alex so much better, and he needs help too. I wouldn't know how. I don't play all that much Alex, but you know, he's another low T character that could use some extra oomph. Like give more characters some more OTG shit. And the only reason I thought of this is because for some reason, Juri's V reversal has the OTG hitbox on it. You can't use it because it's a V reversal, so like you can't combo into it or anything unless you specifically set it up to, like, both characters would have to agree to set up a situation to make that happen. And so, like, it would never actually really happen in a real match. But it exists, and it's like, clearly someone had the idea that, like, OTG should be a thing in this game. And I don't disagree. It's just, like, you gotta use it. Don't really know the purpose of OTGs, but that'd be tight. Like, it's kind of just another, like, another way to open up the meta. Because, like, for the most part, there's no reason to ever, like, stall your get-up in this game. Like, I don't know if you remember Street Fighter 4, but, like, Street Fighter 4's main problem was that nearly every move in the game that does a knockdown gives you a hard knockdown. Which means you're kind of stuck in this, like, wake-up animation where you don't get an option on how you get up or how to defend yourself. So, you sweep somebody, and they could just jump in on you, cross you up, hit you with the unblockable, like, every single time, 100% of the time. So in Street Fighter 5, they made it so that if you got hit with literally anything that's not a crush counter, you could back roll, you could do a normal recovery, and I think even some supers You can quick get up. Or you could back roll. So like, realistically, there's no reason to ever not quick get up in this game. Like, there are characters that can chase you down and oki you anyway, even if you do quick rise or back roll. But like, that's a guess, because even Juri, like, shit. Even Juri has some setups where she can like trap you if you specifically back roll. I forget how it goes, but I think it's... I have the wrong V trigger. Yeah, I'll get back to VT2 in a bit. Stuff like that. Like, that setup, that cross-up fireball setup, only works on back roll. Shit. Whoops. It's kind of specific. Yeah, if they get up any other way, they can escape it pretty easy. But like, for the most part, there's no real reason to not either quick get up or back roll. So like, if, for whatever reason, if for whatever reason you decide, I think my opponent is not going to quick rise, you get rewarded with extra damage. And that's it. It's just like, you make a read and you get extra reward for it. That's kind of like it. That's basically it. It's not a big deal. It wouldn't like shoot anybody up a tier list or anything. But it's just like an extra way of opening up the game a little bit more. Yeah, the game was all set up in vortexes. Yeah. Like that's the whole thing. But that's not like a Juri specific thing that I want. That's like a everyone. Like, well, not everyone. Certain characters. Characters that it would make sense for. Like Alex. Like, he has a whole stomp where he's, like, stomping on the ground. And that's typically the kind of stuff that would have a OTG. So it's like, just give Alex an OTG. Let's see. Light Pinwheel. So, Light Pinwheel has two different frame advantages depending on whether the opponent is crouching or standing. So, standing, it's -3. So, most characters with the jab, with 3-frame jab, can punish it with a jab. But, if my opponent is crouching, it's -8 because the second hit does not land. So on standing, it hits twice. But crouching, it only hits once. And the first hit is -8. And that's stupid. There's no reason for this to be -8. Like, I understand making this move punishable because, like, it's kind of covers a bit of space in front of her, and it's one of those forward lunging moves that you almost sort of have no reason not to do, not to just throw out randomly. But, like, making it -8 is dumb. Like, Hakumei can hit me with a heavy and punish it. Like, that's a lot of damage. Like, that's a lot of disadvantage for no reason. And the only reason why it's like this is because the second hit just whiffs on crouching. So they should just fix that. If for whatever reason they wanted to balance it out, I would say just make it like -4. Make it so that like any character can punish it. But just make it universally -4 across the board. Like, don't make it like, oh, they're crouching, so you get even more frame disadvantage. Like, no, that's dumb. There's no reason for it. Just like, fuck. The whole point is that, like, because it's fast and because a lot of people have a hard time reacting to it, that's kind of hard to punish, even though it's, like, relatively punishable. But if you make it -8, like, that kind of doesn't matter. So, fuck. That's a lot of... Yeah, and you can space it. But even if you space it, Like, -3 from this distance, that's practically unpunishable. Like, even if they were to throw a jab right here, practically unpunishable. So if they wanted to make it punishable, like, make it -4 or -5, I'd be fine with that. Just don't make it -8. That's too much. Like, if we're going to be completely fair, just make it -8. What else? Oh, medium and heavy DP. So medium and heavy DP, which are supposed to be our anti-airs, have what we call a flickering hitboxes. There are points within this, like in Street Fighter V, the way hitboxes work is that instead of having like a hitbox move along with the character, like let's say if I threw this fireball, so like if you had some kind of tool where you could see hitboxes, if you had a tool where you could see the hitboxes for the characters, instead of having like a single hitbox that pans across the screen, what's actually happening is that you have a hitbox that blinks in and out for every frame across the screen. So it's not one hitbox that's moving, but it's a series of hitboxes that move across the screen. So it's the same thing for her DPs, but they're like flickering hitboxes that blink in and out in a circle as she's going up. And there are frames within all of this where sometimes there are no hitboxes. Like if I throw the fireball, there's at least one hitbox that's moving forward at all times, but with the DP, there are moments where like there are no hitboxes in the air. So even when you're trying to anti-air somebody with an anti-air DP, they can still smack you out of it. And that's dumb. And the only reason why she has this problem is because she has a multi-hitting DP. And like any other character who has a multi-hitting DP, like Karin's EX Rasenha and like Rashid's heavy mixer, they don't have that problem. They don't have like frames where it's like there's no hitbox on the move so you can hit them out of it. Only Juri. Literally only Juri has that problem. So they should fix that. Literally just fix her DPs. I'm not sure. I don't remember when you came in, but I'm gonna just go through the rest of it. So V-Skill 1. I'm not gonna talk about V-Skill 2 because I don't know enough about it. But V-Skill 1, all I wanted to do is to decrease the recovery of the cancelled version. Because there's no reason to not cancel this. Like, when you start the V-Skill... Oh, right, it was two things. I forgot to write down the other thing. Two things. So, for all of her Fuha charges, when she charges a thing, it puts a little symbol so you and your opponent can see whether or not you have a certain move charged, right? This is not true for charged V-Skill. And a problem that I constantly run into with charged V-Skill is that the only visual cue that you have your V-Skill charge is this little white ring that shows up on the ground. But one thing that happens a lot when I'm playing online is that I would charge V-Skill and my opponent would jump and the camera would follow them so I can't see the floor anymore. So I would charge V-Skill, they would jump, and then I can't see whether or not I have my V-Skill charged, so I have to charge it again to make sure. And the thing is, when you charge V-Skill, you only have three options. You either forward dash, you back dash, or you let it rip. All of those things are not blocking, and all of those things makes you vulnerable to getting attacked. So, like, having to charge my V-Skill over and over again is not good. Especially when it's just like, oh man, I'm not sure whether I charged my V-Skill or not, let me do it again. And that just gives my opponent more time to close in and gain ground on me that I don't want him to have. So, for charging the V-Skill, and this should also be true for V-Skill 2 whenever it comes out, just put a little emblem where all my other Fuha charges are, that will show me whether or not I have charged V skill. Like, that's it. Well, that's not it, but like, that's the first and most important thing. The second thing is that canceled V skill should have way less recovery. Because honestly, there's really no reason not to cancel it. Because through all that recovery, like, I'm still vulnerable through all of that. So I'm still getting hit. So like, why would I cancel this if I'm just gonna make myself vulnerable anyway? Just make it a real feint. I'm not gaining any V gauge for using it. So it's like, come on. The third thing is that once you cross somebody up with the V skill, or once you pass through someone, you can't cancel the V skill anymore. So being able to cancel the V skill once you move to the other side would be a nice addition too. Because since I won't be getting the kick, I won't be getting V gauge for it anyway. But at least I also wouldn't be making myself minus 10 by accident. Also, it's just another option. Just having more options is always good. Karin's EX Rasenhan is a little trash too, still compared to other DPs. You can use it too early and get hit out. Yeah, like even that's true. Like, to be honest, EX Rasenhan isn't even really meant to be a anti-air. It's mostly just like get off me reversal type of thing. But like, I rarely ever see it get stuffed. Like, if anything should never happen, is like an EXDP getting stuffed. And actually, yeah, that's a lie. I have seen it get stuffed, but it's way less often than Juri's DP. So it's like, yeah, it just shouldn't happen. Like, I spent bar on it. Like, it's just one thing that just should not happen. Yeah, and besides that, that was when I started on, whoops, V-Skill 2. So yeah, V-Skill 2 needs a lot of changes. It needs a lot of overhauls. So this next change I'm stealing from Big Nasty Kale. It's not my idea, but I sort of agree with it. So on activation, you get this little kick, right? Get this kick. It's +5 on hit, so you can get stand medium kick or stand medium punch. The range is actually pretty good. Oh god, I'm getting like massive slowdown. So you get target combo, you get a ton of stuff. So the Big Nasty Kale change that I'm stealing is that after you activate V-Trigger the first time, if you press hard punch or hard kick again during your V-Trigger time, you spend half of your V-Trigger time to do a second kick. And that's it. Like, just being able to like do the kick again during your V-Trigger, just a nice change. Like, there's a lot of characters that have like a activate do a hit type of V-Trigger and then like it does something else if you press it again. Juri's doesn't do that. Like, she doesn't, you activate it, the timer starts, and it just does its thing, and then once it ends, it ends. It's like, just having more options. It's like, just do the kick again. Being able to extend combos and stuff. Alright, turn off Akuma's meter. Oh, right. No. I actually haven't gotten to that point yet, but yeah, I'll get there in a second. The other thing is increasing the hit advantage on hit, because like standing medium punch is a 5-frame move, and this is +5. So like, when you land this, you literally have like no time to confirm. Like, this is essentially a one-frame link. Just adding an extra frame just to give you like, making the combo easier to confirm, it's just a nice quality of life thing. Cause like, I can't tell you how many times, and yeah, there was a time where I actually used VT2 in tournament. I can't tell you how many times where I confirmed into it and like missed my combo. And it's like, that sucks. It sucks because like, sucks. It sucks because, you know, I landed my hit. Like, why does it have to be hard? So yeah, add an extra frame. If I wanted to be greedy, I would even say add 2 extra frames, so make it +7, so I can get a heavy instead of a medium. Like, that'd be nice. Get back heavy kick, continue my combo from there. The other thing, and I think this is when you came in, so last season they changed it so that they changed V-Trigger 2 so that you can cancel it from flip kick. Now, this is nice and all, but you can't follow it up without using meter, which is dumb, because the whole point of the V-Trigger is to drain bar from your opponent. Wow, holy shit. So yeah, without bar, there's no way to follow up from it, and that's stupid. So, they gotta at least either, like, decrease the juggle value, or make them launch higher, so you'll have more time to follow up with a light DP, or like, something! Fucking something without bar. Yeah, it completely goes against the point of the V-Trigger, because I'm supposed to be draining its bar. But because they're being launched into the air, I'm not draining meter this whole time. So it's like, why would I want to cancel into flip kick if it doesn't even allow the V-Trigger to do the thing it's supposed to do? And not only that, if I want to get damage, I have to spin the bar I intend to steal. Like, raw, what the fuck? I wasn't confirming after throw normal, activate, get rewarded. Like, on the ground, it's fine. Like, on the ground, it works great. It's just the fact that, like, the timing is really tight. Like, sometimes, on occasion, VT2 can actually be useful. Especially in certain matchups. But, like, there are things about it that are just ass backwards. Also, now that we're getting into the meter draining part of it, one thing that's also really dumb so V-Trigger 2 drains meter from my opponent, but if they don't have meter, I don't get meter. I can't get meter if they don't have any. And that's stupid. Like, so you're telling me if my opponent doesn't have any meter, my V-Trigger is useless to me? Fucking why? Like, yeah, it gets worse the more you look into it. Like, the only way for this V-Trigger to work is if I constantly feed them meter by adding pressure. Wait, but Juri's bad at pressure because her stand medium punch pushes people too far back, so I have to constantly keep getting in order just to make my V-Trigger work. What the fuck were they thinking? Ugh! And to make things worse, unlike V-Trigger 1, I don't get stores for free. So like, I don't have my fireballs to let me just get in. Like, it just keeps getting worse the more you look at it. Like, man. V-Trigger 2 is so bad. This should get me meter, regardless of whether or not my opponent has meter. Like, if their bar is empty, I should still be getting bar. Like, I don't care. And the simple fact that, like, you don't get any meter if they're airborne, like, also makes it worse. There's so many restrictions on this damn thing. For no reason. Like, nothing about this V-Trigger was well thought out. Like, what the fuck? And of course, yeah, the V-Trigger only works when I'm up close. But remember, Juri's not a rushdown character because she pushes herself too far back. So, like, if I'm too far away, V-Trigger's useless. If I'm too close, well, I'm in danger because, like, my opponent can literally fucking just steal my turn at any point. It has so much potential, but, like, they just have to make it not stupid. If they made it reasonable, then it would be good. I can still people getting super scared on the ground because I'm press my button. I don't see it. Like, I fought against Juris with VT2. I was never scared of getting my V-Trigger drained. Because it's like, well, what the fuck are they going to do? They're just going to keep... The only way for V-Trigger 2 to matter is if they keep doing this. And it's like, well, you're spending the bar that you're stealing, so... Okay, sure. You could just keep doing that and keep being -2. I don't mind. There was another thing. I forgot. Because, like... Because the drain speed is actually pretty decent. Like, his meter's draining pretty fucking fast. So, like, in regards to, like, just the draining part of the V-Trigger, there's nothing really wrong with it. Like, look at that. I took damn near all of his bar. But it's like... I still need to be in front of them in order for this to work. Like, this is... Like, even though... I essentially took all of his ability to do any EXs. I'm never going to get an opportunity to drain that much bar in the first place. Because, like, just as a reminder... Shit. So just as a reminder... Let's see if I'm putting on all this pressure on my opponent. Like, let's say they're blocking all this. Fuck. My brain. So I activate V-Trigger, and I start applying pressure, and then they press nothing. I only drained like a single bar. Well, technically... a bar and like 1/8 of a bar. It's like they still gain meter as I'm doing pressure. So it's like it's really not that much. And that's only assuming I do all those things uninterrupted. Like, to do any of the shit that I just did, I have to open myself so many times, and it's like it's not good. It's not good. Like, I think what V-Trigger 2 should do, on top of all the things I listed, is that it should still also give you your Fuha stores for free. You don't get the cancels, you don't get the normal cancels for free, but you should get your Fuha stores for free. So that way, while I'm doing all this, throw a fireball, get back in. Or... throw a fireball, get back in. Throw a fireball, get back in. So that way, I can actually pressure my opponent while the V-Trigger's active. I won't be able to, like, hit confirm literally any other button like I can do in V-Trigger 1, but at least I can make the whole meter draining part functional. Yeah. I had another idea. Oh, right. The other thing. They're never going to do this, but here's another idea for V-Trigger 2. I think that instead of having this field where if they're in it they drain meter, instead of having a force field, make it so that she gets like little aura puffs on her feet. So every time you do a kick move, it will drain meter. Or any move involving her feet. So literally anything that's not jab or stand medium punch or crouching medium punch. Any other move that involves her feet, she'll drain meter from landing it. That way I don't necessarily have to be close to them. I could like just zone from this range over here and still be draining meter. But on the flip side, like my opponent can't gain bar. Like if they gain meter while I'm doing this too, then it will also like be counterproductive. Your punches are your pressure buttons and your kicks are mostly minus anyway, so that's some balance. It's like, yeah. So yeah, just make the kicks drain meter instead of just having this stupid force field. Other than that, other than all 11 of those things I just listed, V-Trigger 2 is fine. But yeah, dear lord, does it need an overhaul. Like, holy shit. I think that's as far as I got. What am I missing? Air target combo is fine. Oh! Something I didn't write down. Air throw. I keep forgetting she even has an air throw. Something about this move needs to be done. I don't know what, but something. $123, it's $140, $120, $145. Like, I don't know, make it like a super hard knockdown so I can get Oki off it or something. Can it grab grounded? No. It is strictly an air throw. Like, it does more damage than her normal throws. Actually, it does the same damage as back throw. But, other than that, like, for a character, like, an air throw makes sense for a character like Vega because Vega doesn't have dedicated anti-air buttons. But Juri has crouching heavy punch, medium DP, heavy DP, an air target combo, and an air throw. All of them good for different situations. And it's like, that's the whole issue with Juri. Like, nothing about her is focused. She has like so many multiple options for what should be the same different scenario, for the same exact scenario. So it's like, you at all times have to spend like an extra half a second thinking, oh man, my opponent's doing this thing. Which one of my 3,000 options should I employ here? Even though they all will give me relatively the same mediocre result. Like, it's too complicated. Juri is too complicated for a simple character. For a game that's meant to be simple. And for no reason. For no, like, extra reward for it either. Like, why do I have 5 different anti-air options? All of them only sort of kind of work in very specific scenarios. Like, the character was supposed to be simple and relatively easy to pick up. Like, in Street Fighter 4, she was kind of hard to use, but mostly because, like, her stores were all negative edge moves. Where, like, you have to hold the button to keep your fireball, and then you release the button to launch the fireball, and stuff like that. And people found that hard to do. So they changed it so that you do the move, you have the move, and you just do the command again. Like, that's what made Juri difficult to use before. Not that she had, like, a gajillion of the same option. Because, like, most of the characters, if I was Ryu, for example, and my opponent jumped in on me, depending on their range, the most he would ever have to think about is, are they too far? If they're far away, I can just DP. If they're relatively close, I can do a crouching heavy punch. And that's it. That's all they'll have to think about. For Juri, if someone jumps at me from this range, like, oh cool, I can heavy DP. But wait, what? Or no, if they're this close, I can medium DP, because heavy DP would probably either, like, have them fall out or something, or, like, I get stuffed out of it. If they're this far away, I can heavy DP because it goes further out. If they're this far away, I can crouching heavy punch because, like, that just so happens to be where the arc lands. Or if my reactions are not that great, or if they jumped at a time that I didn't expect, I can crouching heavy punch, which is, like, kind of inconsistent, but still. If I jump in the air and my opponent happens to jump at the same time, well, I can try to jump a medium punch, but that might be too slow. So I can also air throw, but also, like, lose any sort of Oki that I would get. Like, it's too much. Yeah, it'd be cool if she was easy to pick up and hard to master, but she's just straight up hard to start with. And when you get good with her, it's still hard because other characters are better. Yeah, like, everything she does, any other character could do better than her. And, like, she's just really complicated. It's just high risk, minimal reward. The opposite of what any character needs. It's doable. Like, thankfully, she's, like, functional for the most part. Unlike before, unlike Season 1 and 2 Juri. But, like, it took so much. It took so much just to make her a functional character. That now it's like, alright, let's try to make her good this time. Like, she lacks focus. She lacks any sort of direction. And that's the only thing holding her back. She needs, like, focus. Also, giving her fucking dive kick back would be great. Like, I'm at a point where it's like, I don't care whether or not she has a dive kick. But, like, there was no reason to take away her dive kick, especially when they, like, made a bunch of characters, new characters, all with fucking dive kicks, or even gave characters that didn't have a dive kick before a dive kick, like Ken. Why the fuck does Ken have a dive kick? Yeah, especially since Capcom buffed her, then nerfed her again anyway. Yeah, like, why did they nerf her at all? I think they took away, like, some of the damage off of Heavy Fuha. Like, why? Who complained about Juri? Besides the Juri mains. What person who is not playing Juri is complaining about Juri? Did I miss anything? I think that's everything. Actually, yeah. Let's talk about Super. I want to show you... I want to show you like a real situation that happened to me in a tournament that got me eliminated. Let's talk about Super. Based off a true story.
Instant kill.
I need V-Trigger 2, Ed. Alright, so picture this in your head. I'm Juri. My opponent is Ed. My opponent, the enemy Ed, activates V-Trigger 2. And V-Trigger 2 allows him to do this. Puts him at +2. So essentially he can press literally any button and he'd be able to continue his pressure. Now, I'm at magic pixel health, meaning literally any hit can kill me. He has no meter, so he can't super me to death, but he's using his V-Trigger 2 to pressure me. I have full bar, and I'm about to die. So... Whoops. Damn it. So when Ed uses his V-Trigger 2, and he gets this grab, he has no reason to not press a button. He has no reason to not ever press a button, because he's +2. Why would he not? So, me being the mad lad that I am, Ed uses V-Trigger 2, goes for a heavy punch just for pressure, and I, after the snatcher, mash super, knowing that like he had just enough health for it to kill, and like if I did anything else, he wouldn't die. So, like even if I EXDP'd, like I would have got out of the situation, but he would have lived. So it's like, might as well skip the middleman and just kill him, right? So this is what ended up happening. Oh, you didn't do it. I am losing frames. What the fuck is happening? Hold up. No. Bad. That should be the exact sequence of events. He didn't do it. Well, anyway, this long-winded sequence of events basically point to her super has extremely minimal invincibility. And I know that that's a thing that's universal across every character that has a super that's a projectile. Like, Ryu has the same problem. Who else has a projectile super? Dalsim has the same problem. Every other character who's super, where they just throw out a big fireball, they have minimal to no invincibility on their super. And it's actually gotten me killed on several occasions, where somebody would like super me, and I'm like, wait a minute, I also have super. I'm going to counter super them for max punish. But then I get hit anyway. Also, not to mention, for some reason, for no reason, Juri's the only character, I think, who has a super which gets weaker depending on the range. Like it does 1210, actually, or 210. Less than that when like near full screen. This is 150. Yeah, Sakura has the same thing, but it's not severe. But Sakura has its own stupid issue. Like Sakura in some occasions, she would sometimes just not get the full animation despite being point blank. And I don't get that. Like I've seen it happen. Like literally they would do a normal combo, like normal V-trigger punish combo, like they would usually do, go into super, and instead of getting the animation, they just get the fireball, and they just get like no damage at the end of it. It's like, wow, that was stupid. Why? .330 up close. And the fact that it doesn't go full screen in the first place, like, why? Why can't it just go full screen? For what reason? I actually want to check out Sakura's. Maybe that's the joke. Maybe she's the Dan of the series. They just don't want her to be good. Who else has... I think G has the same problem too.
I am the world president.
Capcom come through with Juri in Season 5, I'm on her 100%. And so on, and off of her, even though she has one of first in the game, one player, because you know, I do the karting. Yeah, karting was my main before Juri came out, and I also played karting in Alpha 3. But Juri's like my favorite character, so I've been playing her ever since she came out. Let's see. Up close. .330, same as Juri. She still at least gets 250 full screen. At least it doesn't go to like 150, like the amount of damage for a throw. Yeah, I think anywhere other than point blank. Yeah, maybe they just fell too far in that combo. Or maybe he delayed it or something by accident. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of things on Juri that just don't make any sense. Just like we gave her Hazanshu, but it's not an overhead. Why? Fucking why? Oh, actually, you know what I forgot? I forgot a really important thing about Juri. It's involving V-Trigger 1. Because one thing I felt real deeply the moment the character came out and the moment that I like started messing around with the shit that she can do, Juri's main problem overall is that she is overbalanced as fuck. Like, if you messed around with Juri when she came out initially, you can tell that like she had a lot of things that were on the cusp of being like really, really, really good, but like they had to pull back on it by adding extra mechanics on her character so that she wouldn't be able to get away with shit like that. So, stand medium kick. Combos in the stand medium fuha, right? Not true in V-trigger. Why? Why doesn't this combo in V-trigger? Like, there's no reason for this to not work. Especially when you have characters like Guile and his V-Trigger 1, where he can do like fucking 600 plus damage with a single V-Trigger combo with Super. Fucking why? Not only that, but they specifically made it so that if you cancel into our hard punch, it will launch you. Because they don't want you to be able to do this. Or whatever. Which doesn't even matter because it pushes you too far back anyway. But like, for whatever reason, they just really didn't want you to be able to do that. Why? Fucking why? I'm spending meter for every time I do this. It's not even free. Like, at most, you get 4 of them, and the V-trigger's over. Like, why? Or 4 and then the heavy followed. Like, why? How much damage does that do? And that is just like a bunch of 2-hit combos. That's going to be scaled to like not even half of what I just did. So it's like, why? Fucking why? I don't understand. I would imagine it would be the same as that combo I just did, but like I have half my V-trigger still, so I can just keep going. Like if I'm a new player and I'm like, I don't know what to do with Juri's V-trigger, so I'm just gonna do this over and over and over and over. Ah shit, my V-trigger's gone. Now I have to actually play the game. Like, isn't that what you want? Like, for new players to be able to pick up the game and just play it easy? Like, it's shit like this that just makes the character hard for no reason. Yeah, I completely forgot about it until, like, somebody mentioned it. And, like, another thing... I forgot what it was. V-Trigger Fireball. I don't think I ever talked... I don't think I talked about, like, any of her V-Trigger 1 stuff involving her stores. So, like... V-Trigger Fireball... I think should launch higher. Specifically because of stuff like this. Because she can do this thing. Ah, shit. Does it not work? Am I stupid? Ah, fuck. Ah. Give me a sec. I forgot how it goes. Well, yeah, that just doesn't work. But, like... Why do I keep doing that? I'm stupid. I don't know. I feel like I should be able to do more from that. I'm pretty sure I can. I just can't think of it at the moment. Can I super from there? I should be able to super. I don't know why I would, but just for style, I guess. I don't know. This jump cancel kind of just exists. I'm not really sure why. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know what to do about it. Like, I feel like something should be done with this jump cancel. Like, that's all you can get, really. Whoops. No. Yeah, it's very much for corner carry. Just... I'm trying to think of, like, Season 5 changes. Like, I'm trying to make it so that, like, pretty much, like, everything about the character has changed in some way. Whether it be a nerf or a buff. And I feel like they should really do something extra with, like, the jump cancel, but I don't know. Like, it's functional, it's just there are better things that I could be doing. But yes, welcome Cannon Punch. I remember that name vaguely. I'm pretty sure you were here at some point. But welcome back. Yeah. I think that's everything. So yeah, I made a list. Let me write down the shit I missed. I made a list of potential jury changes. I'm gonna make a document for this shit. Super. Fixes Diggins, janky stand hit punch hitbox. Yeah. I mean, like, yes. Yeah. Like, I agree, but it's like, they'd have to change the animation. And I know they can do that. They have done that before with other characters. But, like, holy shit. Yeah, they should fix this. Like, for what it does, it makes sense for the animation. I forgot that stand heavy punch is also one of her anti-airs too. So that's another decision you have to make whenever someone jumps. It's like, do I crouching heavy punch? Do I stand heavy punch? Do I DP? Do I air throw? Do I jump back jab? Do I... Yeah. It's too much. But, yeah, they should definitely fucking fix this shit. It's not even that it's inconsistent. It's the fact that, like, they intentionally made it so that it hits really fucking high, right? So, because it hits high, her legs could get clipped. So it's like... And this is her most usable heavy. This is the only usable heavy that she has. None of her other heavies are things that she could just throw out in neutral, like any other character. Like Akuma's... Like, all of Akuma's heavy attacks, he can just throw them out and still be plus. It's like, that's dumb. Or, well, it's Akuma, so he's allowed to be dumb. But why can't any other character be dumb? Why can't Juri just be dumb? That's my problem. But yeah, Cannon Punch, I am relatively fine. I'm coming to the end of my Thanksgiving break and I'm going back to school next week. It's finals week! Yay! Hopefully I survive. Thank you, thank you. I might die. It's animation. I major in animation. And I'm actually like horrendously procrastinating right now, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah. But yeah, they definitely need to make this a more solid hitbox, and they definitely need to make her other heavies more usable in neutral. Especially crouching heavy punch, because you literally get nothing off of this besides heavy. I didn't talk about heavy flip kick at all. Why does heavy flip kick exist? I don't understand. It has like a similar uselessness to light flip kick, where it's like everything that this thing does works for medium flip kick. But for heavy oh my god, I cannot talk. For heavy flip kick, absolutely nothing combos into it except for her most useless move. So just fucking why? For 180 damage. I can literally do anything else for more. Crazy. Crouching heavy punch, heavy flip kick, CA. How much is it? With no stores? 444. That's a lot of damage. That is a lot. But like, when are you going to land this button? Realistically, in a jump in. Whoops. $463, that's not bad. But that's like off of a jumpin'. It's supposed to be an anti-fireball, but it's very low invisibility frames. Yeah, like the fireball invincibility on this is practically non-existent. I never use this button without meter. Not only that, just like every other version of the move, it's -6. So horrendously punishable. And I mentioned before that you can also get thrown out of it. Or just hit in general before it even starts. Before the hitbox even becomes active. So it's like, once again, high risk, minimal reward. Now you can get that off of counter hit stand heavy punch. $450, that's pretty good. But like, you know, her heavies just aren't really good to just throw out. For a real whiff punish, like, yeah. Like, literally any other character can still hit me from this range. Like, Hakumei could just, like, stand heavy punch from me right now from this range, and I wouldn't be able to touch him. Yeah, send all this this convo pick a top tier. Yeah. But I don't wanna. I'm a character loyalist. I can't. I have to like really like I could just go back to Karin, but Karin gets boring really fast. It's like I want to play the character I like. I also want to have fun. You know what's not fun? Losing. I can't fight that though. But yeah, that's my proposed changes for Juri. I'm pretty sure I forgot several things, but my list is already pretty big. As it should be. I want every character's list. I want every single character to have a massive change list. I don't care whether they're already top tier or not. Except for Karin. Karin stays the same.